anymore. This is kind of their callback. So what I can do here is grab set. So for every UUID in my grabbed set, I want to tell my mega list to remove everything in my local set. There. So that's basically saving the day right there. That basically is a free-for-all. Whatever entity is up, whatever tile grasping vines is up to check, can grab it. That gets run first while it's in range, grabs it. This one basically just drops everything, says, I'm done with it. You guys deal with it, basically. This will also be called if the tile is broken. So if someone breaks the tile and it's pulling things in, it'll immediately drop all of its connections, and other things nearby can say, hey, there's new things to grab, let's grab them. And that's about as good of a solution as I think there is. Yeah, I love Scala so much. Because I don't even have to pass things. Because remove is a function that takes one thing, and it takes the same type as this. This implicitly passes it in, and then implicitly passes it into the other function too. So it cuts it really fast. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. I'm a Scala phobe. Well, not phobe. Holic, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. All right. So that fixes that problem. We now know how we want things to behave in that instance. So on server update. Yeah. Scala is very much a functional language. We've got grab entity, we've got remove entity. So we want to do let's do another. We want to find entities, and let's do range. So we want to find entities within range. And we can keep this as just find entities, or we can do find and grab entities, which makes more sense. And then we want to pull entities. So these are stubs. So we want to, right here, we want to find and grab entities in our range. Let's make this 32. Now this is completely awful. So we actually want to do, well, if we want it locally upgradable, then that. But we also want to make sure that I'm just throwing some of my own metadata annotations in. So we want to find and grab entities, and then we want to pull entities. Oh, entites. Entites. They're miniature ents. Okay, so that's what our behavior is going to be. So for find and grab entities, we can do a really simple world, or just get world object, get all, well, entities, get entities within, what's the version of select versus get? Oh, that uses entity selector. Okay, we don't need an entity selector. Entities are a class of. One of the annoying bits of Scala, you have to do macros for some of these things. Well, so I'm not sure if I want to do it behind it every time. I think I only want to do it to select things to grab. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to do ray checks in Minecraft yet. It's on one of the things on my to-do list. So for now, because there's quite a few things, I don't know if you're watching earlier, there's quite a few things that probably should be behind raycasts. I'll probably update them to be behind raycasts when I get around to it. For now, I'm just going to program it to behave like this. What are the other things? An access line bounding box. So then access align bounding box dot get bounding box, and this is x chord minus range, y chord minus range, z chord minus range, x chord plus range, y chord plus range, z chord plus range. So actually probably shouldn't be called range. This should be refactored to be called radius. Boom. Okay. So this gets all entities within our bounding box. And then what we want to do is, for each of these entities, what does this return? List. So we need Scala conversions. Yeah, they're probably fairly simple. I fiddled around with it a bit for the whole preview code for when you're placing things in hand, but that didn't actually do the raycast. That just used the raycast results. So I don't know how to actually perform a raycast. So what I'm gonna do for each entity is, and then specifically because I don't want a square box, I want to actually use hi xmass suko x. This is a rewrite of a previous mod I did that never really got publicly released in any stable version. But this is a Minecraft mod. I'm writing it in Scala. So basically what I'm going to do here is I want to filter out, because I want it to be a spherical grab, not a square grab. Access line only gets me a square bounding box. I need to double check that. Get. Okay, hold on a second. I need pause X, pause Y, pause Z. Okay. All right, so I need to make sure that shoot. I don't. This is gonna be messy. Okay. Let me write a helper function here. Distance from entity. Give it inflow equals. Unless, hold on, am I being dumb? Ah, shoot. Why did I write that to be a float? Get distance to entity. What's that? Oh, yeah, it's between entities. What do you mean, Massacre? I do have a specific goal in mind. Basically, it's to make a mod that I really would want to play with. That's pretty much it. So it is kind of for myself. I'm just doing it for the heck of it. But I also want to, yeah, no, yeah. So the entity that, oh, well, would you look at that? Thank you very much, Luvan. Come on. Why isn't this liking this? What the heck? Oh, duh. And this is X core. We want this to be the center of our block. And less than our radius times radius, because this is square. You know, yeah, there's something to be said for discovery, but I mean, yeah, my Femtocraft was amazing when you're discovering everything for the first time, or like the first couple of times. It was the best mod I ever played because of the discovery and not knowing what else is showing up. I do it now, knowing everything, just because I really enjoy playing with what the mod has to offer. And that's kind of what I want to make here, is something that I just know what the mod has to offer, and I really enjoy what I can do with it. And I love, as I said, I love theme. I like the way things look. I like the way things feel, and that's what I'm really kind of trying to go with here, is the look and feel of the mod. Why is this not wanting to work? Come on. Did it? Oh. Oh, 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 oh. I got it, I got it, I got it. It's returning a list. Okay, so what it was is, if you look here at the return type, it's returning a util.list of wildcard, aka any. So I need to make sure that for the Scala type system, I need to make sure that it types out to entities. So I'm doing collect. I can do a regular cast, but I'd rather type safe it. This makes sure that it won't crash if it does encounter something that isn't an entity. And just for performance, I'm gonna throw a view in there. Okay. So out of the entities within range, without having to recreate a new object every single time, collect the ones that are actually entities, filter to make sure that they're actually within range or within radius, and then for each of them, we want to grab entity, which, whoops, okay, which will add them to our list, we'll add them to our global list. Well, interesting, that's what view does. View stops the allocation. And the entire Scala library is completely optimized to work with lots of allocations. And if you actually look at the benchmarks of Scala versus Java, Scala uses about half as much RAM as Java does within the JVM. Like, yeah, the JVM will take up about the same amount of space, but the used space, Scala is about half as much as Java. So it looks bad, but it's actually exactly how you're supposed to do it, because that's how it's been optimized to work. So we want to grab our entity. And now, so remember the thing I was talking about before, where how I'm going to be going, I have to go through get entity by ID. First of all, yeah, that's site-only.client. It's freaking stupid. Get entity